I'm amazed at how many people are still confused by seniority and experience. They are not the same thing. We are not talking about teacher experience. We are talking about teacher seniority being used. And what the difference is teacher seniority is when you signed your contract in a particular school district. Teacher experience is how many years you've been teaching. The current system in layoff is seniority-based, not experience-based, which means the factor that determines who stays and who goes in a layoff is purely determined by when you signed your contract in that district. It is not an attack on public education. We can all agree that on these particular public education goals, I think we can all agree that we want to have students reading by the time they're in 3rd grade, proficiently. We all want to close the achievement gap. We all want to increase the graduation rate. We all want to make students college and career ready. We all want to give students the tools to be responsible and independent citizens. And since the teachers are the #1 in-school factor in achieving those goals, it is important that we keep the most effective teachers in the classroom. So this is not an attack on public education. This is a strengthening of public education. It is not an attack on teachers. The current system that we have in place now is an insulting, disheartening attack on teachers. The current system says that only how long you've worked for a school district is what matters. House File 1870 is an affirmation of the importance of teachers. House File 1870 tells teachers that they matter, their effort, their abilities, and their effectiveness matters.
The fact of the matter is that this bill has no guarantee in it that it will keep the very best teachers in the classroom. It only has the intention of doing so. So this bill will really accomplish only what the administrators and the school boards and the superintendents wanted to accomplish, and that will most likely depend on personalities and salaries. And many, many times the layoffs won't depend on the teacher's ability or whether or not they're a good teacher.
Where I see the problem is that this legislation is not imminent, it's not needed in the terms of when it's passed, and the fear I have is in visiting with a number of the charter schools in St. Paul, or the teachers, the safeguards are not in this legislation in terms of when budgets are tight. Administrators, and I realize that there was a discussion in the Education Committee, but when budgets are tight, administrators will look to where they can balance that budget. And that budget is basically going to be balanced on those senior teachers that have higher salaries.